what's up, everybody? You're watching On the Town with Tanya, and I'm your host. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. I appreciate you. Don't forget to do me a favor and please, well, obviously subscribe, but please share this video so that it does get out to the people that will be inspired. So tonight's guest is, in his own words, a Puerto Rican filmmaker from Brooklyn, New York, who is making his mark in creating films that provides roles that allow Black and Brown people to be unapologetically neurotic. I think of Stranger Things when I hear that. Please welcome
Hi,
Gabriel
hi guys,
Guz-
Gabriel Guzman here.
Guzman. Guzman, that's the correct way to say Guzman. How are you, Gabriel?
I'm good over here, on the other side of the pond. How you?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for taking time. I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate you squeezing me in.
Oh no, it's totally fine. I love it. It's perfect.
So growing up, you seem like a young filmmaker. Growing up, what made you decide to like be the change that you wanted to see? Is it not seeing people that look like you, or what inspired you to get into film?
Well, truthfully, I like always been into like film since I was younger. I think the way like we all got introduced to film, personally to me, was through like the blockbuster genre. Like I wish when I was younger I knew about filmmakers like Wim Wenders or Cassavetes when I was like 10 years old. But when I was 10 years old, I was looking at like The Dark Knight or like movies like Pineapple Express or like even Spider-Man. Because I feel like the blockbuster genre is just such like a wide space where it just permeates throughout the whole microcosm. So that's how I got introduced to filmmaking. But to see people that look like me and to like incorporate that into my storytelling,
Mhm.
I wanted to take, old stories, like, old stories of folklore, of fable, or just stories that we already know, stories that already exist in the spectrum, and kind of remix them with,
Oh,
Black and brown people. They're basically, the same stories in a sense, though, but I'm just putting, Black and brown people. And when you put, people of different cultures or from different environments in there, that automatically adds a nuance to the story. It remixes the story itself just because the story kind of goes on a different route. It kind of twists itself. So I kind of like stories that are like poor in taste, but are done with like a level of like prestige, sophistication.
nice. Well, this speaking my language is definitely done with that. I think it's a brilliant short. And how long ago did you make that? And how long did it take you to actually create that?
Funny enough, like this weekend, like this past Juneteenth weekend is like the first anniversary that we shot because we shot last weekend.
Uh-huh.
So like for a 3 day shoot in June, it was like extremely hot. This was like in 2022 from like June 17th through 19th.
Hmm.
And the post-production process, I want to say it took the whole summer practically, yeah, to like the end of September, because it's a short film though, so like, and just to the nature of the film itself though, because it's kind of like when I told the actors, Malachi and Elise, it's kind of like a silent film in a sense though, because they're not really, speaking verbally though. They're
Right.
kind of like pantomiming, they're kind of like reacting on, like their facial expressions or their body languages, and they just have a face that just carries, like the emotional depth of what needs to be expressed.
Right. Well, that's that's so brilliant the way you did it. We're gonna look at a little clip of it, guys. Maybe I should look at it and then you can tell, or maybe tell me about the film first, and then we'll look at the clip. How about that? Which one do you think?
Oh yeah, yeah. I like to, introduce the film first, and then we
Okay.
could go into
Okay.
those. So basically, what Speaking My Language is about is the idea of the story is what if two people who communicated with each other through telepathy
Mhm.
and kind of, embarked on this little more intimate relationship with each other. The whole idea presented itself in love languages. Like, what if, two people who communicated in that language
Mhm.
went to found got into a relationship together and only, had that language exclusive to themselves. I'm gonna
Mhm.
sound a little bit abstract right now. Like I haven't spoken about the story in like so long, but the idea is basically just think of two people that could communicate with each other through telepathy.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's amazing. So we're going to look at a clip and then we can talk about it because you know me, I would have played the whole thing, but I was like, well, I got to give people a reason to go somewhere else to another site. So forgive me. Let's see if I can pull it up correct, guys. Give me a second. And if you're out here, don't forget to share the screen. Let's see if I can get this right because Share screen? No. Do I want to share screen or video file? No. I want to go to, let's see, share screen. Yes. I did it right. Can you believe it? It's a miracle. Here we go. All right, here we go, guys. So check this out.
All alone, whether I like it or not. Nothing and no one is doing it for me anymore. Tired of this life, ready for a different one.
Yo, I love her right here.
His outfit looks really nice. And he looks fine. Today's been so gloomy. I just want to crawl back in my hole and get high and listen to John Redcorn.
John Redcorn. I can't remember the last time I heard that song. She's making me want to get home and get high to it too.
Are you listening to me? Hello, yes, you. Are you listening to me?
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You got it too?
I was born with it.
Me too.
I always felt like it couldn't just be me, you know? Like,
No, yeah, me too. I mean, I know the feeling. Somebody finally just understands.
what's your name?
Look inside.
You want me to?
I'll do the same to you.
Dawn.
Gregory.
We're back. You're watching On the Town with Tanya, and that is Speak in My Language. And we are back with Gabriel Guzman. That is amazing. I wish they could see the whole thing because it was really brilliant. So, how did you come up with that? It's brilliant.
It's a bit abstract when I came up with it, though. I think with me is like I have this fascination on like this like I'm not sure if you heard of it, like what love languages, like lately I guess people my generation they're like talking about, how like ways they want to be loved and how to
Mhm.
love others. So the idea of
Uh-huh.
love languages, appeared in my mind and I was thinking, well, what if, and I'm not somebody to make like a allegorical piece though, but when I was writing the story, I wanted to make something that felt exclusive to two people, like kind of like an Adam and Eve kind of way where these two people exist in their own habitat, their own little plane of telepathy. And it was something just cosmic about the romance between them.
Mm.
And it was more so like the literature of the words breeded the visual poetry of the film. But what really got me going into the film was, even if you do find somebody that is tailor made for you in every way you want, like, like they're literally your, I guess, doppelganger or your soulmate, your twin flame, whatever you want to call it, that necessarily doesn't mean that, they're the person for you for life. And I
Right.
guess what I wanted to show is that these two people who probably on the whole earth in this story can communicate with telepathy, one will assume that they're soulmates, that they're gonna be with each other for life, but that's not necessarily the case. So I like to think of the idea that well, just because you find somebody that has a similarity or that kind of shares something in common with you, it automatically doesn't mean that they're the one for you. And I guess, like I didn't want to be didactic in that way of like explaining it though, but it just felt too, like fun to just like avoid going down that route. And I just wanted to explore that.
That was a good twister for me. That's what created it. Totally sent it left for me. That they did something I didn't expect at all. I thought they were definitely going to be together. It's going to go down. This is it. And it's like, oh, maybe not. So it was really good. Sorry, spoiler alert. I'm the killer of the whole plot.
I mean, it was me. It was me. I wanted that.
It was great. It's great, guys. If you get a chance, please go to YouTube and check out that video. It's amazing. So when you created that, now do you try to do all your work and think of the brown and black diaspora, or just that's what you focus on when you can?
Well, in my work though, I know this. I know from like my films going on, or like I want to, like have like black and brown people as like protagonists and leading. So that's already embedded in my mind already though. But I necessarily like if a story caught like if I'm writing the story and I notice okay, well I think it depends on, like the milieu I'm writing in, like what kind of story this tailors to, like then I'll, switch, up the characters, whether it be the culture or race. Like if I'm writing like a European story, then I might, have maybe like a white character in there, just depending on the nature of the story though. But for I think knowing me from going on forward, I want to just include more, black and brown people in these roles that have been reserved for, other people of
Right.
different races.
Right. What about, because I know for me, you're way younger than me. You're probably old enough to be my son. But because I think I have a kid your age. But so for you, let me see, your age group would be, I'm trying, well, see, you're lucky because you've seen more than my generation has. So at 50 something, I'm really 25. 50
I'm
something.
25.
Yeah, you're about my daughter's age. Yeah, my other daughter's age. But at my age, only people we saw Puerto Rican in film was Maria and Tony in West Side Story, and who else? There was somebody else in TV back then, but that's it. So to see you and other filmmakers coming up, and we're everywhere now, and it's like, wow. So this does still work in the vampire movie. This still does work in Stranger Things. This still does work. Like it's amazing to see that. So I
But I
thought,
also think though, like, because like I know like, like with films though, like they like to kind of like broadcast, like pain or like our trauma, like our poverty, like have it like depicted on screen in a way though. Like even though like I understand like our stories still need to be told and people do need to know what we went through though. I'm also, like I also like off kilter stories too. Like, like let's say if there's like, if there's like a story where there's like let's say like a Puerto Rican, like a murderer or a killer, like I still feel like, like our roles need to, like it's kind of a stereotype in a way if we only play like stock roles, like roles that are still like, like supporting roles or roles that are kind of like cookie cutter, like I feel like, and this goes into like the performance art of it all though, like to really be, like enveloped into, like the storytelling though, I feel like all roles need to be accessed to us though, or stories need to be written for us though, not just, like pigeonholed into, oh, this is the stereotype role and or this is like the stock character role, like I feel like, we could be, like pirates, like in other kind of like stories or maybe even like CIA agents or just more on. I'm abstract when I talk about this though.
no, it's a very good point to make, because it's so true. Like how many Black Cinderellas do you know? Brandy was one. That's it. I think I'm right. Now we have Era Married by what's her name? Holly. I don't know her name. The young singer. But there really aren't certain things. It's like, no, this is for this and that's for that. And to me, if it's a good story, it doesn't matter who you put in it. If you have a good actress or actor, it's gonna work, no matter who it
And
is.
and one thing I want to, like point out too is that, like I feel like and also to really be, accepting into, the film community too is that, like I feel like more people of color, if there's roles too, like it's okay for them like to be like unlikable too, like I want to see, a character on screen, a person of color that's, not easily likable, I don't want it to just be kind of like, oh, like let's push this button to make them, likable, like in order to really be, accepting and I guess, like more accessible or just more like like well versed though like we have to create characters that are not just like I said pigeonholes but that are not pigeonholed but that are unlikable. Like I want to see a character
Yes,
on screen that I hate, like oh my god man, that person is despicable, and
right.
that could be and
Like,
that has to be a person of color too.
yes, I mean, but right. In other words, whatever the movie is, it's okay. We'll just have everybody in the roles, not just one specific type for that role. I get it. I totally get it. I cannot wait to see like Blade. I can't wait to see that
Mm.
because that's like Black people in vampire movies. What? Oh my gosh, I'm a vampire fanatic. Like that's my genre. I would write vampire all day, and the vampire be every color. We got one from Russia, one from Africa. We got every vampire for everybody. They
Oh,
go,
that'd be fun.
yeah, you get a vampire, you get a vampire. But yeah, so when you create your films, from the point of production, how do you go about finding like a good crew? Do you rely on your old classmates, or do you have people intact already, or how do you do that? What's the process for that?
Usually I honestly, Sonny, I go headhunting honestly though. Like I'm usually like, like usually like outsource, people.
Okay.
Honestly, for the most part, like for my last, like my DP, Yosuke Konami, who shot this film, Speaking My Language, I worked with him again on a second short that I did called The Ballad of Bruce the Cloud also. And my sound guy too, Tony. So like I've worked, like lately with like, like the same people. In terms of like finding actors though, I found, like these are like not actors. These are like my friends practically though. Like I found them on
Nice. What?
Instagram.
And you directed them?
Yes.
Wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I thought that guy, I thought the gentleman, the guy that played the guy on the subway, I thought he was somebody I've seen before in a movie. For real? He's never been in a movie?
He's modeled before, definitely though. He's modeled before. He was in I know he
Maybe,
was in like a Beyonce campaign, I think though. So maybe
maybe
you've seen
that's
him
where,
in there.
because I
Yeah,
was like, I've seen him before somewhere. I don't know where, but I've seen
yeah,
his face.
Malachi, yeah, good people.
Malachi, wow. Well, he did. They both did a great job. It was great. Especially when when they're first talking, it's hilarious. It's like, are they really talking to you? Tell them about these. Yeah, they really are. It was hilarious. It was brilliant, really brilliant. So you have what? How do you come up with like a good script? Like, when do you know it's a good script? How about that?
I never know. Actually, I think it's kind of like it's a weird example because I don't want to say it's just throwing stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks though. But it's usually like I guess the way that I come up with a script, if I'm answering that question correctly, is I think it usually just starts with like the most like minute like references or like just like an idea that will just pop in my head, and it could be so obscure. Cause like usually it's weird though because it kind of starts with like an image in my head or like a visual. Like, it could be like looking at like like a sky or like a floor, just like an angle, like a little
Right.
crack in the ground, and it's like I guess like whatever manifests from that or whatever incarnation that form takes though, the story just like builds around it though. So that's kind of like the root, I guess you could say, like the seed. Like it's very small though. Like you wouldn't even like at first glance you wouldn't even relate the first idea to what the story is now. But I feel like that's how all ideas kind of form in a sense though. It's kind of like something that's unrelated to like the final result.
Really? I think that's an interesting way to go about it. See, I don't know. Everybody's different, but I build characters first and then I build story. Or I build story, then I build characters.
And it's crazy to you say that because like for me like characters like I always value like character over plot usually. Like I mean I always do that though because like with the films that I watched though, like I've always remembered the characters more. Usually the characters inform the movie though. It's not like the other way around though. So it's like when I usually think of characters, it's kind of like in a weird way I kind of think of like the world. I think of like the world they inhabit first, or I kind of think about what kind of character it is and how do they fit into that world. How do they fit in? It's kind of like a vice versa kind of thing though. Like I'm still, like trying to figure out like which, like way of creativity or like which like line do I want to, pull on more though. But for me though, I just like allowing it to just like spill into like my brain and just like, letting it like melt like this cauldron.
Right. Wow. Well, that's amazing. So how many films have you done so far?
Short films, I've done 6 short films, and I'm only proud of the 3 that I made, honestly. I mean, the 3 that I made are available online. That's Perfume, Speak My Language, and Ballad of Bruce the Cloud.
Perfume. But wait, let me write the other one here. The other one's called Perfume. Oh, I saw that, but I didn't go. I wasn't able to see it. So Perfume is the other one. Speak My Language, I know.
And the latest one is the Ballad of Brewster Cloud.
The Ballad of Brewster?
Yeah, Brewster Cloud.
That's funny. Brewster's a town near where I used to live in Bedford. Cloud, that's so funny. Brewster Cloud. Okay. And then everybody should know Speak in My Language. Guys, if you want to check it out, they're in the thing. Hey, Kathy. So that's awesome. Where did you shoot that? That's what I meant to ask you. You shot it in Brooklyn?
Speaking My Language?
Yeah.
We shot all around. Like we shot in Brooklyn, we shot in Prospect Park, then we shot in Coney Island.
I was gonna ask you Coney Island. I thought I saw it.
Yeah, we definitely shot there. We shot during like the Mermaid Parade too, which was like actually that was like a complete accident though, but it worked out honestly.
That was when when they were going through, walking through somewhere or something?
Yeah, they were on the boardwalk and like there was like this whole parade just happening and we just happened to just like catch it at the right time.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, she said, where can I find these films? Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. I'm sorry. YouTube. Yes, I saw that. And when I saw it, that first thing that came to mind was like, Coney Island? Nah. And I was like, but then I remembered you were from Brooklyn. I said, very possible.
And then for the apartment scenes, we shot in the Bronx at my friend's apartment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did interior. Okay. When you did the casting, so you thought of you write your script, you think of your locations and your shots, and then you're like, hey, I want you to play her, I want you to play him, like that, or you already knew that you wanted them to play the characters, the main characters.
It was more so because I had reached out to like a lot of people because really enough there was like this like weird like this like Google Express sheet or Excel sheet. I think I'm saying the name wrong, but somebody in New York had like made it and it was like this whole list of like creative people living in New York City though. So like I just went headhunting, just like reaching out to a lot of people, and that's when I came across Malachi, who plays Gregory, and Elise, who plays Sadon. And I know I wanted at least definitely because she has like that red flaming hair. I was like, oh my gosh, like that kind of complements, the nuance of Hadon. It's kind of like a mutant. Because the story always felt like, well, what if like an X-Men character just walked
Yeah.
off the comic book and just had their own love story, like their own romance, like without the violence, without the action, just like keeping like the romance grounded, up until like just increasing like the fantastical part, just like a slightly an inch though, not too overwhelming or
Yeah.
absurd.
You did a good job on that because it's funny. That was just for a brief moment what I thought of with her character. Just a brief moment. I was like, nah. But it's she was a powerful character. I liked her. I liked her a lot. Um, let's see. So let's see. What was I going to ask you? Oh, what are you working on next?
I'm trying to get a feature off the ground at the moment. I'm working on it. I'm trying to, find producers just to, have this feature, just to give the feature some legs at the moment so it could, materialize it though. But soon enough, it'll happen soon. Like I usually find a way all of the time though. But for right now, I'm just, in that pool swimming.
As in the pool swimming. That's all you can do is be in the pool swimming these days. So do you think that now is in this time day and age is harder to make a film or easier because there's so many new um, not genres mediums to tell your story? Like before there was just you have to go through the financiers and the financiers only want you if you do X, Y, and Z, B, and if you don't do that, they're not going to give you the money. Forget about it. Now you can go to Apple TV. You can go to, there's mad streaming services now. Is that good or
Yeah,
bad?
I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way because, and mind you, I'm in like no position to talk about this, but it's like a double-edged sword in a way because you can literally make your own film. You can literally find people. It's so like just like finding people is like it's kind of like at arm's length now. Like you could just recruit anybody. You can make your own family of filmmaking. You could get the film done. But I guess in order to like have it like distributed or to like get it out there for people to see, because the whole point of making the film is you want people to see it. That's really
Right.
aside from making it for yourself though, you wanted to get it like you wanted to go out there in the world. And with the I guess it could be based off the merit of your film,
Right.
or it could if the film makes it, to like festivals or if it gets picked up by a distributor, there is a
Mhm.
little competitive part in there. But
Right.
I would say, like there is the worry of your film just getting lost in that sea of streaming, like just like drowning in that sea of
Right.
content that's being pushed out though. So it is easy, like making a film, but I guess of like getting, distributed or like having, I guess just like getting people to see it though, that might be, I guess, the challenging part a little, but
Okay.
it's not definitely impossible, it's definitely possible. Like before, funny enough, someone had told me before, like I guess in the 70s or 80s, like it was I guess easier to, be the filmmaker, the movie filmmaker, just because it was less people, just because people didn't know as much people in the industry. So like you kind of had like a foot in there already. Now it's kind of like oversaturated in a way though. But
It is.
like I said, it's kind of double-edged sword though. Like I don't really, like go into the politics of it as
Okay.
much.
Okay. I hear you. That's the safest way. Is just do what you're good at, which is making the films, and that's it. Everything else will come. That's the thing. If someone wants to become a filmmaker, what advice would you give them?
Oh yeah, just make the film. Just make it. Make the film. Make what you love. Make what you want to make. Honestly, it's a rewarding experience. If you want to become a filmmaker, watch movies too, because I love watching movies a lot. Though, like movies will just expand your world. You could go to London without having even to go to London. You could go see world, see people you will never even see before. You could go into different. See different point of view, see different places, and connect with people. It's like the ultimate medium,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yes.
Just make what you love.
Yes, that's why I love reading for that reason. Take me to a whole nother world. And then films became a thing, and I was like, oh, well, this is even better.
Yeah.
I've got
It
a
allowed
visual.
you to taste life in the present, you know?
Yes, this is amazing. Well, plus, I like when people, instead of just complaining about, oh, they don't see enough this, I don't see enough this, just do what I started writing because I don't see enough powerful characters in the brown and black diaspora. So and Asian too. All that to me, all that diaspora, and I'm just tired of it. So I was like, well, let me write. And the worst scenarios, all right, maybe not as many people see it, but I'm going to tell the story. So I think it's important what you're doing, and I love your film. I can't wait to see the other ones. Where can we find you?
You could find me on Instagram. My handle is Gabriel Guzman, NYC,
That's
all together.
on the Instagram.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
practically my name just with NYC at the end of it.
Gabriel Gabriel Guzman at
NYC. Oh no, not at NYC. NYC.
put two N's.
Yes, two N's.
Okay, let me see if I got it right. Tell me if this is right. Let's
I usually
see.
have like a Grim Reaper handle, yeah, that's it.
Okay, there you go. You can find him on the gram there, guys. Thank you. Then he's got some characters private. Kathy said, very interesting concept. Can his characters protect their private thoughts if they? Oh, he said, can his characters protect their private thoughts if they want to in his film? Oh, in the film, can she? Does he know what she's saying? What she's thinking at all times, or is there times that she can protect her thoughts? Maybe humming.
That's kind of a funny thing though, because like you would honestly like the easy answer is no, but the thing that interested me is that to be in a relationship like this, you would have to have trust with somebody, like you would have to have trust to not read their mind, to not go inside their thoughts, that requires like a level like of prestige trust to not read your partner's mind and vice versa, because your thoughts are your thoughts,
Right.
so that those are private to you. So I guess the only reason that pushes Gregory to read his girl's mind is because he feels suspicious about her. He just feels there's something off about her. So without confronting her about it, he's sneaky about it. He just wants to just peek inside her mind just to see what's bothering her. And he peeked inside her mind at the wrong time, and he found out what he was looking for, and it was terrible for him.
Wow, that is crazy. That just blows my mind. Imagine if people could do that. That'd be horrible. A lot of people be in trouble. I'm just saying. What is it? What is your favorite film? I'm just curious.
My favorite film? Oh my gosh, that's a hard question.
Two? Better, yeah. If that makes it easier.
Oh my Lord, two. Oh, I'm a huge Robert Altman fan. Like one of my favorite films ever is Nashville.
Oh, I never saw that. Wait,
Nashville is an incredible film.
I didn't see that.
I've seen it like twice. I've seen it in the theaters like at least like twice already though. It's an amazing film. It's like this huge ensemble cast. The thing what he does with Robert Altman is that he just knows how to he's a maximalist in emotion. So he knows how to make an ensemble cast, and he just knows how to allow. The thing with him is that he worked with actors that he allowed them to be free. If you see his films though, it kind of looks like this whole carousel of emotion, and the way he just used sound. So he kind of I don't want to say that he pushed sound in film though, but if you hear his sound design in movies though, it's kind of like how sound will sound in real life. It's this whole cacophony of just ambient noises and and conversations nearby all melting in with each other though, and it's kind of, I guess you could say, it's like life incarnate in that regard though, but it's so much more.
Wow. Who else?
Another film that I like a lot. I tell people I like this film a lot, which is Paris, Texas by Wim Wenders. That film is embedded in my DNA at this point. Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an older movie, right?
Yeah, by Wim Wenders with Harry Dean Stanton and Natasha Kinski.
Right. Okay, wait. I know. Why do I feel like I saw that? What is it about again?
It's about this guy who literally just leaves his home and just wanders the desert for 4 years, I believe. And he comes to his brother. Oh, you haven't seen it? No. Okay.
I'm gonna go check it out though, for real, because I thought that name sounds familiar, but sometimes I've seen so many films. Oh gosh, that my brain just be like, and there's only some that stand out that I can actually name everything about it. So that's probably what it is. But I will check it out.
It's a film that I think that a lot of people are like getting. I think it's like, those films that it's kind of like not, it's kind of like bringing up to the surface now. Like more people are becoming like aware about the film. It's kind of like not minds anymore. Like before, like when I would mention the film, people would not know about it. But like now that I bring it up though, like people say, oh, I know that film. So it's kind of like not like minds anymore. It's kind of like, oh, damn, like that was just like my personal favorite. Now like everybody seems to know about this film now.
I know there's plenty of those. Yeah, no, there's a lot of films like even The Matrix. I think took a while for people to say, "Oh, wait a minute." And I think even that some things take a while for us to get to the regular public. But thank you. I'll check that out for sure. Where do you see the film industry going? Like you think in like 5 to 10 years, especially with AI? Do you think that'll affect us? Because
Um,
I know the
I
writers are pissed. The writers are pissed right now. They're like, "What's going on here?"
I think it could be a tool creatively though. I don't think more so to like replace, like filmmaking per se. I think it might be maybe like a reference point, like a blueprint. Like earlier today, I had someone I know, one of my friends, she showed me like this kind of like concept that she wanted to do of AI, like kind of like a whole, like she made like this whole set though of like an idea that she wanted. It wasn't accurate though. So I think it could definitely be helpful as a tool
Okay.
in like making your vision. Kind of
Mhm.
like, the way you have like, like kind of like the way like tools are used now though, but I don't think it'll be more so like in like, oh, like there's gonna be like a AI generated film made by like a robot. Like, I don't see it
Yeah, I
going
think
that
there
far.
will be. I think there will be. And matter of fact, the guy from Google said it. The guy that quit Google, what's his name? I don't remember his name. He actually said that they're going to take over your whole thing because you're feeding the beast every time we put into those things any of this stuff. Anytime we put into it, that we're feeding the beast, and at some point, the beast is going to be bigger than all of us. Uh,
I mean,
and now I'm like, I don't know if that's well, I believe it could be true, but that's just because it makes sense. If your robot is so smart, then even if that one dies out because it doesn't have enough information, the other one should be able to program him. You know what I'm saying? So
because
it's
they're having it with music too, like they have it with music with like I think now there was like this statement, I guess released by the Recording
Mhm.
Academy that they were saying like no um AI music is gonna be allowed or like just like be accepted though. So that might, trickle down to, the film industry as
Good.
well. Because if you think about it, like it's people that are making the films, so it's people, that's kind of like an easy, it's kind of like fast food in a way, you want an AI to make a film and that's it though, it kind of, I mean it is a weird concept though, because I do believe, yeah, it could, they are going to be AI films though, but I don't think, it's going to be, like I don't think people are going to be like lining up to the theaters or it might be, like
No, because
nominated for like
we've
awards like
seen
that.
some already. That when you see those you see you're like when the episode shows on TV and you're like, why did the last six suck? That's why it's AI. I think they're AI endings. That's why. That's my personal thought is because I was like, a human being would not think like that. First of all, so there's some things to it that I'm like, I don't know. When I read something AI, I usually can tell if I pay attention. And if I see a picture drawn by it, I definitely can tell. I mean, some people say, oh, well, you can't tell. Yeah, I think if you look really hard and if you're an artist, I think you can tell. Maybe regular people, they won't because they're like on drone mode, like, okay, this is what it looks like. That's it. But if you're an artist, I don't know. I just feel like you'll feel some kind of way or something will be out of order for you. But
I mean, it's used already, like it's already,
it is.
used already. Yeah,
It's
so
been
people
used
already making
for
filmmaking use.
years. It's been
I
used.
wouldn't, I didn't even know.
Yeah. Oh, I just found out like maybe like 3 years ago because I know some techie friends, but it's been being used forever. We just didn't know that now it's actually built into something that's now going to be a problem. My problem with it is copyright. So now they can take Biggie's voice, play a song, make a song, and not have any royalties or nothing. That's scary.
That's no, yeah, that is.
That's very scary. And they could take your movie, clone it, or do whatever, not clone it, but like how do you say it? They can tweak it or whatever, and then send it somewhere else, and they can play, and you don't get your royalties or something like that. So
Yeah.
there's little things that it's going to be a scary thing. It's great, like you said, especially for like advertising or whatever. And in film, I'm sure. So I'm sure there's somebody sitting up there saying, I don't know what kind of idea we have. Let's ask AI. AI, can you give us an idea for a film? Okay. I mean, I can see that happening for some people. So it's going to help some people somehow, but there's also the bad side. So I'm all about generic artist. Like this is, you know, you went out, you got your camera, you came up with the idea, you sat and wrote your script, you got your people, you know, not said, okay, this is what we generated. Here we go. Like I don't know. But anyway, so you think you'll have a place here somewhere. What do you want people to remember the most about your work?
I would, and I've said to myself with this too. I guess I want my films to bring, people closure, resonance, even if sometimes my films are quite, like unhappy or bleak though, because I kind of want to move from like genre to genre. I like bending genre, just bending emotion though. But what I want people to remember from my work is, I kind of want my films to feel like a hangout films for people, or maybe like a blanket for people if they feel, lonely and or just if their emotions feel inadequate. I always say, I make films for people who like live in between worlds, people who kind of like drift in between, the winds and stuff like that, people that have become ghost stories in their
Mm,
own life. Like that's my kind of like my storytelling aesthetic. Like I contribute to that tribe of storytelling or filmmaking.
well, that's a great tribe to belong to. That's what I'm looking for because that's the actually kind of movies I watch. Something that's off the kilter that's not usual. So that's great. Kathy had a question. Is there another place I could find your film? Find the film, Gabrielle. Oh, YouTube, right? YouTube.
Oh yeah, speaking my language, you could go on No Budge because it's on part of like the No Budge platform. So you could, I guess, look through the catalog and find Speaking My Language. But I also have a Vimeo too. You could just type in my name and Speaking My Language is there.
I believe Vimeo, Vimeo, and YouTube. I hope I said that right. Let's see. Let's see if I gave the right advice. Let's see. Where's it at? Kathy, you can go to here. That right? No budge? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
I was just hoping that was the right. No, like budget, budge. All right, Kathy, you got that? No budge, Vimeo, YouTube. You can find the movies. For Gabriel, you guys got any questions? Please let me know in the chat. Read as well. That was it. Yeah. But thank you so much. You're awesome. I'm so happy that you came, and I'm so glad that you're taking the lead on changing things around and doing what you think needs to be done. So I'm excited to have your films. I hope they make nationwide. Do you ever submit to any of the festivals?
Yeah, no, I submit to a lot though. Like the festivals, you face a lot of rejection, you face a lot of,
Yes.
acceptance though. So, it's like ebbs and flows, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it is it's crazy. But again, I still think there are some type of gatekeepers going on. But
Hmm.
eventually they're going to have to fall down, whether they like it or not, because people want to see something different. That's the bottom
Yeah,
line.
new regime.
Yes, it is a very new regime, and it's about the people. It's no longer about the money, which is funny when we talk about robots and beasts. That's another thing. That would be a good movie, actually. The robots defeat the machine. But people, there are a group of people now who don't want the regular norm stuff. So that's why I think, like what's her name, Lena Waithe, and all the other people that are producing movies now are going to do very well because people want to see something different because the world is different.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be sedated with the content anymore. They want something new. They want just a breath of fresh air, honestly.
That's the word. That's it. A breath of fresh air. That's exactly it. But thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Anything else you wanted to know? Anybody to know about your? Do you have a film production company?
No, it's just all me at the
Just do
moment.
it all
Yeah,
yourself right now.
not
Okay.
yet.
Okay. So soon, but that'll be the next step. But have you ever inspired to make a long movie? They call it a short, so I'm saying as a comedian, the long version.
Yeah, feature. Yeah. That's what I was saying prior to like I'm trying to get like a feature off the ground. Like that's like like a debut. Because I know I was saying before though, like your feature film, like the longer, like basically like a longer film that's like more than 60 minutes. That's kind of like I guess to equate it to like a music standard. That's kind of like your album. And like short films are kind of like your mixtapes in a way. So like when you make your first feature, that's like your debut actually. So it's
Okay.
like I feel like I've already made my bones with short films, and I just want to get my feature off the ground, honestly. Like I said, I'm swimming in that pool right now,
Okay.
but it will happen eventually, like I always find a way.
Okay, nice. Well, I appreciate you so much. I'm so excited
No, me too.
that you're on this mission, and I'm sure you'll do fine. Now, you went to school for filmmaking?
No, I didn't go to school.
Wow, you
I
taught
didn't.
yourself?
I told myself I mostly, honestly though, I think the only school that I had though was like I just like watched movies, I just, like I guess it was really just like the passion that I had just for like films, honestly though, because like before anything, I'm a writer and I'm a cinephile also, so like I just love, watching movies a lot, so I could pull from these references that I have though, but I know a little bit about like each department though, but like but I wouldn't call myself a cameraman, I wouldn't call myself an editor or production designer. Like I leave that to the people that know, that craft, that are
Right,
craftsmen or the other specialists on the crew.
right.
I just
Well,
exact the vision and they really, lift the vision, like I play like the smallest role, honestly. They, like the spinning wheels, the corks and everything. So I would be nothing without the crew that I have.
that's amazing. Wow, I'm even more in awe now of you. I'm like, wow, what? I would never think that. Brilliant, brilliant. And hang out with me when we leave because I have an idea for you. For
Yeah, sure.
But guys, I thank you so much for taking time to watch us again. Please check out Speaking My Language. You've been checking out On the Town with Tanya with Gabriel Guzman. And please go to YouTube, check out his film, and it's a short. And, go to both of our pages, like and subscribe, share. And where do we share? Because somebody needs to be inspired. So just share if you can, because somebody wants to be a filmmaker and somebody will be inspired. So thank you, Gabriel. We appreciate you so much. And
No, I love being here. Thank you for having me, actually.
I appreciate you so much. And guys, thank you. I see you out there, Kathy and Tony. I thank you. I appreciate Anthony. And I see somebody out there. I can't see who that is on YouTube. I'm sorry about that. But hello anyway, and thank you very much to our new subscribers. We will check you guys out. I will be back Sunday. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. All right. Gabriel, hang out for a minute. All right, guys. See you later. Peace.